welcome back to a new one on this channel, and on this occasion is the BB Tubes from Waves. Now, the other day I reviewed the Magma channel stripped. You can check it out on the links or the cards at the top. This one, at first, you see BB and you think barbecue, but no, it's Beauty and the Beast. This is a saturation device, and it reminds me of the black box from Plugin Alliance. You have the odd and the even harmonics controls. So that's pretty much what it does, but you get a lot more with the transformer and how the sound gets processed. So the input controls, which is the sensitivity, it's super important because it will affect the saturation that you apply with the Beauty and the Beast. I'm gonna solo the drums and play something. Right here, you have some lights, and it will tell you when you're doing too much or you're doing maybe nothing. If I go all the way down, it's doing just a tiny little bit, but if I keep going up, green and yellow means that you are doing something, and the saturation meter will let you know. If you go up and you go into red, you're doing maybe too much. Still, it doesn't sound bad. And this is because what this does is that it's going to process the whole thing, the whole input, and it's going to emulate the transformers. So even if you're not doing any Beauty or Beast, it will still, compress. Especially with the transformers. So I'm gonna maybe go up and do something like this. And I want you to take a look at right here at the bottom. So as soon as I turn it off, notice that we get that compression. And if I go up on sensitivity, we're gonna be doing more. And this is because, of course, it's emulating that. You can remove the transformers if you want to. Still, it's doing something, but you get less of effect. You get that nice compression. So I like the transformers. So if you want to use this plugin just to do that, a tiny little bit of compression, you can do so without, even using these controls. You just turn it on, you handle your sensitivity, your input, and there you go. So you can use it without using the Beauty and the Beast controls, without adding anything. It will, give you that tiny little bit of compression. So because, who needs compressors when you have a saturation device? Yeah, it's super cool. So, okay, so then you have the bass relief. This is going to be a cut at the lower frequencies to 350 hertz. So if I go up, we can hear it will lose the lower end a lot. Now, the manual says that when you're doing bass relief, this will be compensated at the end. But still, you're losing quite a bit. So now you get a bass relief because when you add saturation, sometimes when you do it to the lower frequencies, the low is going to sound like that. So you can chop it off and have the saturator work a little bit more even, or just, better. Cool, so that's what you get, the bass relief. Then you have the Beauty and you have the Beast. Now the Beauty, it's going to be even harmonics. So if I play something, I'm going to do less sensitivity. And I'm going to boost this one. So this one is even harmonics. And you can go really up and crank it up, just crush it. And the other one is going to be odd. Again, crush it. Now, maybe if you don't know what it is, what's the difference between even and odd? Well, even, it's more creamy or warm, let's say. And the other one, it's more aggressive. I want you to listen to the low end when I boost this one. The lower frequencies and mids, especially, the mids. But the other one, listen to the higher frequencies. It's more aggressive. Of course, this is maybe too much, just a tiny little bit of both, a combination of both. It's nice. Maybe I can go to the bass relief and do a little bit of that. And there you go. Now, still, when you go up on this ones, it's gonna feel that it goes louder, and it will go louder. So you can control and trim the out of your device. Cool, right? So, sounds pretty cool. Alright, so what else do you get? Well, you have the Type A and the Type B. And this one is two different variations of the same circuit. Of course, it's a little bit different. And right here, you need to go by ear and decide which one you like the most. There's no real specification on the manual. It doesn't say. It says flavor A and flavor B. That's all. Alright, so that's pretty much the whole plugin. Then you have this controls at the end, which is the tone. This one is pretty cool. Maybe I'm gonna go back to default and do a full reset. So let's say that you want to boost the higher frequencies is a shelf, and you can see it right here. So you can boost the higher frequencies before going into the saturation circuit. And of course, you're gonna be processing more of the highs. Again, it's gonna be super bright. So the post is the same deal, but you can go down and just level the higher frequencies. Or you could do the opposite. Maybe you want to do less of the high, but you're gonna lose the higher frequencies, and then you can boost to compensate. That's the idea of the tone control. And if you're doing way too much, maybe do a little bass, down, you have the dry and the wet. So maybe you can crush it and go down this one and do a little bit of parallel processing. Cool, right? I really like this ones. You know, the BB tubes, which is the Magma series, and the channel strips are, are pretty cool. And I guess in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, the Magma series and the AB Road are just, great plugins. But again, it's just my opinion. It doesn't matter. I'm just showing you the controls and how it works. So let's try it on some other sources. Why not? So I want to try it on some claps. And I'm going to go to full reset just in case. So sometimes, especially on the drum kit, the snares on the hats are going to give you this peaks. So you always try to compress it. Maybe try to use a saturation will help. Let's see how this works. If I go beauty, of course it goes louder. So I'm gonna need to handle this, and then maybe do a little bit of beast. Maybe it's too much, so I'm gonna go down in the wet. Super thin and narrow. A lot more if I play it in context. Right, so yeah, who needs compressors? Alright, so cool, gets the job done on snares at least. Let me just try it on some 303s. I'm gonna go here, make sure that we have a full reset. And if it's a 303 type of deal, so I'm gonna be using odd. Yeah, the Type A, it's a little bit more aggressive. This one is a little bit different. Oh, seems like I don't have a battery for my mouse. So if it is too much, again, always remember that you have a mix control. You should always use your mix control, especially when you're using a saturation device and you're not going into a bus. Maybe a little bit of odd. I like it. Maybe if I go down on the out and match the levels and play it in context, this is off. A lot more dynamic, a lot more compressed. But this is super aggressive, and it sounds pretty cool in context. Yeah. All right, so yeah, so this is what it does, and it's a pretty cool plugin. Okay, hopefully you liked all of this and you learned something new. And if you liked all of this, remember to like and subscribe. And if you have the money and you want to buy me a coffee just to say thanks, you can. Go to the links of the description. You have links for PayPal, YouTube Thanks, and Patreon.